Sorry guys, looks like a scene from the Blair Witch Project. Let me just get this lighting right. Okay, that's probably as good as it is gonna get. I am currently down in London for an event at the big business boot camp anyway, that kind of thing. So going to be learning some social media strategies and all that kind of stuff, just getting into it and learning some new cool things. So I'm currently in a hotel room, the darkest hotel room in the world, and now I'm getting blinded by this light. Let's see how that goes. That's a little bit better. Okay, hopefully you can see me and it doesn't look like I've been captured and I'm currently being held hostage. This isn't one of those appeal videos to get me released. Anyway, all good guys. Just wanted to say happy February first and foremost. Hope you have started with real fire in your bellies and real momentum, and congratulations on having an amazing January. If you did, if you didn't, then the great thing is you've got a brand new month to do something about it. So what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, I've just got rid of the comments by the way, so I can't see what you're putting up just at the minute because it does get me distracted. So what I wanted to do really was touch on something that's close to my heart really, and a big part of my story. This whole scam thing, like the word scam, what does it mean, blah blah blah. I mean, we've all been scammed one way or another over our lives. We've all been burnt, I guess. We've all bought something that didn't really work, or we've ordered something that didn't show up, whether it be a product or something that didn't work or whatever. And sometimes it is down to us because we didn't use it in the right way, or sometimes it is a scam, and they are out there. So I think there's a massive reason why people are skeptical out there about anything new or anything different. I totally understand it, because we've all been burnt in the past by one thing or another, and if we haven't, we all know somebody that has been burnt by something or had a bad experience with something, whether it be a company or whether you've been delayed on a flight, whether you've turned up to a restaurant and the food wasn't good. And what happens is we tell more people about the bad stuff, or people say more stuff about the bad stuff than they actually do about the positive reviews. I think there's that phrase like, a negative review will travel like 9 times, a positive review will travel twice. So I just want to talk about my experience and what I've learned over the years. So it first happened when I decided that I was going to become a self-employed personal trainer. I remember begging my mum to lend me the money so I could do the course. So my whole kind of thing was, right, please lend me the money so I can do the course, and then I'll qualify, then I'll get a job as a personal trainer, and then I'll pay you back. And I remember chatting to my mum in the kitchen about this, and I could hear my dad from the other room shouting in like, don't lend him a penny, you'll never get it back, it's a complete waste of money. And so I went in there kicking off like, well, why is it a waste of money? It's what I want to do, I just need some help to get started. And he was of the opinion like no one would pay, whatever it was that I was charging. Just go and get a proper job. You hear that all the time. Like, why don't you just go and get a proper job? Why do you want to be self-employed? Why do you want to work for yourself? Who's going to pay that for personal training? And that was what he said to me. So, and it's all good because it's part of the story. Like, we're put here to prove people wrong a lot of the time. And that's probably how I'll close this live anyway tonight. So you can probably log off if you want to. But what I'm trying to say is, at that minute in time, somebody doubted me, someone who's obviously very close to me. So what do you then do? Do you go, all right, I'm going to listen to you? Or do you say, you know what, I'm just going to go with my gut instincts, I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to go with what I truly believe, and lay my cards on the table and say, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to prove you wrong, and I'm going to prove myself right, and make a success out of it. Now, to be fair, it wasn't just my dad that said that. Other people said, who would pay that sort of money? Who has a personal trainer in Bolton? Do you know what I mean? Where I live in the northwest of England, that kind of thing. And obviously, the more you look into it, loads of people have personal trainers, and it was kind of on the come up back in the day, like 9-10 years ago. So it was something that people started to use a lot of. So I got involved as a personal trainer, and basically, I was self-employed. I worked for myself. I had to pay £500 a month rent to work in the gym that I was working in. And people then told me that was a scam. Other trainers that had worked with that company, they were like, don't go with that company, it's a scam, they're going to take 500 quid off you every single month, they don't help you with this, they don't help you with that. And then on the other hand, I'd heard other people saying good things about it. So again, you have to take, your own decision with it. So I went in there, and fortunately enough for me, I became a success, mainly down to hard work. But I do remember how we used to build our business back then. We used to call it walking the floor. And if there's any PTs that work in a big box gym, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And we used to walk the floor, and we used to go and chat to people that were working out. Go and help them for free for 20 minutes, go and offer them a free session for the hour, and you'd walk around with your diary and you'd get as many people booked in for a taster session as you could, and then you would take them through some movement screening or do some work on their problem areas, and then you would offer your services at the end, whether it be in terms of a block booking or one-to-one sessions or whatever. Anyway, I remember once doing this killer session with this guy, sorted out his posture, all that kind of stuff, gave him some amazing exercises to follow, and kind of wrote him up a program. And then when I went into the cafe area, you get him a coffee, you sit him down, and you're like, okay, let's get this guy booked in. And when I told him the price, which I think I was charging £30 an hour at the time, he actually slammed his hands down on the desk, and he was like, no chance am I paying £30 for that. Are you joking? And I was like, wow. Like he could have literally picked up like a massive wet fish and just smashed me across the face with it. That's how damning the comments were. And I was just like, he was annoyed, and I was like, shit man, I've just given you loads of value, and I've bought you a coffee. Can't believe this is your reaction. So for me, it was almost like, what if he doesn't believe it? Does everybody think like that? And you have to just jump out of your negative mindset or that negative experience there and then and see it for what it is, which is, it's just a no. It's just somebody that doesn't really understand the value in what you're doing. And I jumped out of that mindset there, and then I could have bought into, shit, my dad was right. I was, who is going to pay for this stuff sort of thing. But I didn't. I jumped straight into the next session and signed somebody up. And you know what? That's the way it goes, and that's the way it will go for you. Some people don't understand it. Well, whatever your business is, whatever business you're getting into, some people just don't understand it. And just as someone doesn't understand it there, someone does understand it there. We have a great saying, you can't ever say the wrong thing to the right person. If they've got the hunger and they want what you've got to offer that much, then they're open to it. So that leads me on to another story where I first got involved in in the company that I'm with, and I went to an event. I met the people, I saw the vision, I bought into it. The product made sense to me, the business model excited me, and I went home that day. I literally didn't need to drive home. I could have flown home, because I saw something that was going to give me my freedom, that was going to give me my dreams back, I guess, to help more people, to change more lives, to travel more, to earn more money, to do all that kind of stuff that I wanted. And I don't know why I did it, but I basically went back for more punishment. So I told my dad about it, and I was like, Dad, and it was interesting. It was like the angels were singing as I walked through the door, harps were playing. I was like, Dad, I found something. I dropped to my knees. I was like, it is unbelievable. You can build a business online, you can build team members, you can, we're in 30 countries, all that kind of cool stuff that I'd seen, the vision. And he was like, oh no, you're not doing that. It's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, you're going to get arrested, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, what? I've just met these people. So, and they seem really cool. So I think for me, just first impressions, go with your gut instinct. Everything seemed real to me. So then I went away. I was like, pyramid scheme, what do you mean? Went away, did my research on what a pyramid scheme was, found out that it was illegal, found out, the company that I've been working with had been around since 1970. And it opened my mind to a whole different world. And obviously the internet was really prevalent then, and social media was starting to bubble. So I went back to my dad with this argument. I was like, Dad, a pyramid scheme is like your job. You work here, and there's people above you making more money than you, and you're working a 9 to 5 or whatever. This is an opportunity to start at the bottom and work your way up. And the more I looked into it, everything in life is pretty much a pyramid. Whether it's the armed forces, a religion, a football club, a massive corporate company, it doesn't really matter. Everything is structured like that. And not everybody gets the opportunity to make it to the top. Some people are stuck in the bottom positions in that company. Maybe it's by choice. That doesn't matter. That's up to them. Some people want to get higher, but they struggle to make it up through the next levels because of the way the company is structured. And for me, I just saw a way of the harder I worked, the more money and the more freedom that I got, and the more people I got to help, and the more lives I got to impact, if that makes sense. Whereas in a normal corporate job or a traditional 9 to 5, it isn't always the case that the harder you work, the more money and the more impact that you have. So I think it's always about what value are you actually bringing to the marketplace determines the value that you put out there, which also determines the income that you bring in, is always related to the amount of people that you serve. So that was kind of it on that front, and I dived into that business with both hands, and with both feet, sorry, not both hands, that would have been a bit of a bad injury. So dived in with both feet, and I just went through the numbers, and again the same thing happened. It was like, oh, it's a scam, it's this, it's that. They didn't understand it. I got laughed at, ridiculed. Friends didn't believe me. And we had to go through those numbers, and I think you guys have got to do the same thing, whether it's a network marketing company that you're involved with, whether it's an internet affiliate company, whether it's your own business. There is always going to be somebody out there that doesn't really understand what you're doing or why you're doing it, and that's totally fine. I wouldn't even buy into that, but I'm going to explain to you a little bit why that happens. So I've just made a couple of notes on this. The number one reason I think people kind of first instinct is like it's a scam, or they don't really know what it is because everybody's got to have an opinion on something. If you say to somebody, you're going somewhere on holiday, they're going to say something back. It's either going to be positive or negative. If you say to somebody, you decided to start playing golf or something, they're going to say something positive or negative. If you say you're deciding that you're going to move to a certain area, they're either going to say, oh, that's amazing, or they're going to go, oh, I wouldn't move there. And it happens a lot, and you can probably think about experiences yourself where we've got mates that will always say something positive, or you've got friends and family members that will always kind of question what you're doing and what you're saying and all that kind of stuff. So what is the reason for that? They just want to have an opinion because having no opinion in their mind, almost they feel unintelligent. So it's better to say something than say nothing. So that's one of the reasons, all right? So what I try and do is that if I'm thinking about it, I try and put them in an imaginary filing cabinet in my mind. I'm like, that's that person that just wants to have an opinion. And by the way, when they don't understand it, I always know that eventually they will later on, and they'll be like, yeah, okay, you were right, I totally get it now. So that's the first person. The second person is just usually scared. They're either scared for you, so that might be a family member. My mum, for example, I remember when I was trying to build my business and I wasn't getting where I wanted to be, and she didn't really understand it, and she was like, John, you've been trying this for like 2 years now and you're not where you want to be, and I'm just worried that you're wasting your time, and I'm just worried that it's not going to get off the ground for you and you should be focusing on your other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I totally see your point, Mum, but you haven't seen what I've seen. So that's kind of the answer to the people that are scared for you. It might be your partner, it might be your parents, it might be your siblings or whatever. They might just be scared for you coming from a place of love. Like they don't want you to, they don't see what you've seen. They don't see the potential, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So you have to take that, and again, you have to put that in the filing cabinet in your mind. They're the ones that are just scared for me, and that's cool. The next people are scared for themselves, okay? And this is the interesting one. They're the ones that don't want to see you win because it means they've missed out, all right? So and a really cool story on this, well, it ain't that cool, but it kind of relates, is I remember years and years ago, I was at one of the fruit machines with a friend, and we were putting 50p each in. So I'd put 50p in, and then he'd put 50p in, and then we'd press the button, and then obviously if we won, we'd split the winnings. And we got to a point where we'd been putting like 50 pence in, or 50 cent, whatever, if you're watching in America. We've been doing this for like 15 minutes and just kept changing notes. I'm not advocating gambling, by the way. I don't gamble at all, but this was back in the day. And I was like, shit, we've not won. Like, we're not winning. And he was like, okay, but I think we're going to win soon. And I was like, all right, so what should I do? Should I keep putting more money in, or should I cut my losses and leave it? So I decided that I was going to walk away, but then the fear was, oh no, what a fool am I going to look like if he's successful? So that little voice in your mind, you then think, oh no, I hope he doesn't win because it's going to make me feel bad. Well, that is exactly how people feel about you when you pitch an opportunity that they don't really understand, or you tell them that you're doing something different. It's almost like they don't want you to do it. Not everybody's like this, by the way, but they don't want you to do it, or they don't want you to become successful in it because it actually makes them feel bad. So they're the ones that you have to put in the filing cabinet there as well. The other thing is, it's a mirror. It holds up a mirror to them and to their lives, and you actually going for your goals actually holds up a mirror to them, and they look at you and they go, wow, that person's really, really driven, and they're really, really focused, and they still want to achieve something, whereas I don't know if I've got the guts to do it. I don't know if I've got the guts to go out there and do something new. And like I said, it doesn't really matter what it is, but that's why a lot of people don't understand it. The other thing is, it's not conventional. And they're the ones that only know what they know. And some people like that just aren't open to new things. So what I'm trying to say is, traditionally, conventional wisdom, or whatever you want to call it, conventional society goes, go to school, get a job, and work for somebody else. And work, for 40 years. And as Robert Kiyosaki says in Rich Dad Poor Dad, retire on 40% of the income that you were earning. Which is totally fine, by the way. People want to do that, that's totally cool. But they don't understand that you want something different, because it's totally unconventional. And I read a book, I can't remember the name of it, but it basically touched on a graph of where people went through in their journeys in terms of employment. And if you went back to like the 1930s, 1940s, people used to commute to work, and they used to wear suits and like top hats and all that kind of stuff, kind of the old school dress sense. And then as they went through the ages, more people started to dress down for work. And then if you look now, like just watch Wolf of Wall Street, people in ties and stuff like that. I'm in London right now. You walk around, there's a lot of people wearing very casual clothing going to work. There isn't as many people in ties. And now what's changing even more with social media and the digital age is, people are working in the tracky tops, in the tracky bottoms, in the boxer shorts, from home, from the hotel room, from anywhere they want to in the world, from the beach. And there's more of that stuff out there that's either proving that it is true and it can happen for you, or it's almost shining a light on them to say, I don't know if I believe it, and I don't know if I've got the guts to go for it. So what I would say, just in closing, guys, and I don't want to stay on here all night, but this stuff is true if you want it. If you want something badly enough, you will find a way to make it happen. I'm currently living that dream now, that lifestyle business. Not everybody wants to achieve that dream, but you can do if you want to. And it may be you want to open your own bakery shop up, or your own vegan restaurant, or whatever. But my advice to you is, don't let anybody tell you you can't do it, because you can. There has never ever been a better time to be a human being than there is right now in this age that we live, where at the push of a button, you're in front of thousands of people. You can impact lives globally rather than just locally now. So please, please, please don't waste this opportunity. Grab it with both feet. No, grab it with both hands and go for it. Just do whatever it takes. And The ones that don't get it, you've just got to have that filing cabinet in your mind where you put them into. The Jim Rohn saying, don't join that class, is so, so true. Because you can spend hours worrying about what other people think about you, but that isn't going to get you where you want to be ultimately. And the great thing about it is, you know what, you get to have the last laugh. You're the one who can... I can see the people now that ridiculed me back then, and they're still doing what they were doing back then. They're still doing the job that they don't really love. And for me, life is too short to not do something that you love. So I think on that note, I'll end it. Go and do what you love, guys. Stay cool. Have a great night.